afternoon, my friends. So I'm gonna make this relatively short. I apologize, by the way, for the obstructed view, but I guess you guys can see me anyway. So again, I don't really want to get so much into the political back and forth of what's been going on. You guys have been watching. Well, I don't know where you'd be watching it because the media is not covering it. So if you're on YouTube, you probably saw the hearings in Arizona, in Georgia, in Michigan, with all of these witnesses. And actually, it's not all of them. They're just a sampling of the witnesses. You're talking about, let's say, 10 people or 20 people come forward, or 50 people, and there's like, for every state, there's about 1,000 people who actually signed and wrote affidavits and gave their sworn testimony on a penalty of perjury. And you can probably figure out that there's something really, really shady going on. I mean, it's just like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, and then we had the crescendo where in Georgia we basically saw these two women on camera, getting everybody out of the room at night and saying basically these people can go home, and then they started counting ballots. They took ballots out of a bag somewhere that they had stashed. They started counting them. No observers, no nothing. Burning the midnight oil, burning the 3 a.m. oil. You know what I'm saying? And finally, the governor of Georgia, Kemp, says, well, the Secretary of State, I strongly urge that now we go through a signature audit. This is after he certified the election, conveniently. No, we're going to do a signature audit, but who it's really up to is the Secretary of State. I'm going to pass the buck to him. Even though I'm scared out of my wits, probably, that I don't want to have anything happen to me, I'm going to pass the buck. Sorry, guys. I'm going to pass the buck to him. And obviously, this Raffensperger guy isn't going to do a damn thing. And we'll have where we're going to have, unless something miraculous happens and something drastically changes. My friends, I'm telling you all of this not because I want to get into a political back and forth with people. I'm not here to give you, I'm not here to just give you an update on what's been going on and my take on it, and it's like this political show. No, the point is that, I remember in the beginning people started saying, well, there's no evidence. And then the next thing they said is there's no evidence that's significant fraud. Then they said, well, this is what did they say? It's now it's just fabricated. It's hearsay, right? Now they see the tape, and now they say, well, this has been debunked. Look, it's fact-checked. The website fact-checked. It's been debunked. They've debunked it. My friends, you know what I call this? You know that there was this woman, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. She had this thing called the 5 stages of grief. Right? First it was what is it? Bargaining, denial, bargaining, depression, whatever it is. I remember all the 5 of them. I call this the I don't know how many there are. There's going to be a lot of stages. There's probably 5 stages of denial. First, there's no evidence. Now there's no evidence enough to be significant. Or there is evidence not enough to be significant. Then there's hearsay. Now it's debunked and doctored. My friends, I'm telling you, the next stage is going to be, hey, look, somebody's going to come out, somebody from the team, and they're going to come out and say, hey, look, this is real-time footage of a server in a foreign country literally flipping votes for Joe Biden. This is literally happening. Here's the IP address, here's the foreign country, here's the server, here's the visual, here's the software, here's everything. And I'm telling you, my friends, what's going to happen? The people who are denying this, they're going to say, you made this in a video editing software. You can do this on a Mac. A little kid, a 13-year-old kid can do this on a Mac on video editing software. They do this for Hollywood all of the time. My friends, I'm telling you, this is indicative of one thing. It's indicative of the fact that there are alternative realities that people are living in, right? And there is a certain, I was talking to a friend of mine, there is a Sitra Achra, there is a force, you know, that has taken over the minds of people, and that force is enabled by media, by social media, by these you know, people sitting in their own, what is it called? Echo chambers, bubbles, whatever you want to call it. You know, as a friend of my mother's put it, you have your sources, I have mine. Yeah, we have the sources that cover the actual hearings. Your sources, what do? They go to the hearings and they show how Rudy Giuliani's, you know, hair dye is dripping, or how yesterday they showed on CNN, Rudy Giuliani farted on his, you know, on the lawyer who's working with him. He farted on the girl who was doing the testimony. You know, that girl from Michigan, the one that works at Dominion Voting Systems. My friends, I'm telling you, we understand that Mashiach is on the way. We understand that we're in the you know, what's called the heel on the heel of Mashiach, in the footsteps of Mashiach. We understand that. We understand that Donald Trump, for all his flaws and all his stuff, was sent to elevate Eretz Israel, was sent to elevate Israel, basically, the Jewish people. Whether some of the Jews acknowledge that or not, whether they think he's an anti-Semite, which he's not, just total BS, as we know, he was sent to do that. So, my friends, this is just basically the Yetzer Hara that is fighting and fighting and fighting, fighting until the bitter, bitter end. My friends, I'm telling you, there's a hearing in Michigan, and there was this Democrat congresswoman, state congresswoman, who literally just like, she took her 3 or 4 minutes to speak at the witness, the Indian lady, the doctor, or I don't know if she's IT, I'm sorry, she's not a doctor. And after this IT girl, who volunteered to be a Republican poll watcher, gave her testimony, this woman, this Democratic woman, she goes, "You're lying! You're lying!" And this woman, and then Giuliani responded, and then this woman goes, "By the way, lady, just so you know, in order for me to lie, in order for anybody to lie, they have to have a very, very good memory. They have to make up a story and stick to the story. First of all, I would gladly do this under oath," because she's like, "Oh, you're not under oath." I'm like, "I signed that affidavit under penalty of perjury." She's like, "I'm under oath. On top of that, if you wake me up at the middle of the night, I'll say the same exact things. Not one part of the story is going to change in what I'm going to tell you." My friends, I'm telling you, there's a Sitra Achra. There's a Sitra Achra. We call him Kabbalah. It's taken over the minds of people, and the minds of some of the people I know who are really good people, even pro-Israel people, pro-Kahana people, who are just in this trance. They've been entranced. They're good people. They're just misled, and the people that are misleading them, or the entity that's misleading them, is this this alternative reality Sitra Achra that does not allow people to see basic emes. If I'm showing people a video of people pulling ballots out of a knapsack, kicking people out, observers out of the room, and counting ballots without observers at 3 o'clock in the morning, my friends, and people are saying that this has been debunked. And then we see that there was like a spike. During that exact time, there's a spike, and a few of the batches of those ballots come out, 95%, 96%, not the whole thing, but a few of the batches, 95, 96% for Trump, some of them, for Biden, 100% for Biden, 100%. The overall thing was like 71%, 255,000 for Biden, 90,000 for Trump. And you can say, well, it's a heavily Democratic district, whatever it is. My friends, I mean, like, and then you go on the Facebook page of this woman that they found who was doing this, and she's like bragging. She shows a picture of herself working on the ballots, and she's like, oh yeah, what does she say? Break a 1-9, break a 1-9. Biden, she said, President number 45, exit stage left. President-elect Biden, something like reporting for duty. I'm just paraphrasing here. And in another post, she just talks about how like some woman came to complain about something that she couldn't watch, and she said, yeah, I pushed this woman, something like, she kept complaining, then she came back, and I excused it on, she basically said that, like, I chalked it up to social distancing. Basically, she told the woman to step back and gave the excuse of social distancing. And then the woman came to hug her afterwards. Like, my friends, I mean, it's just, and my friends, how do you know that everything I'm telling you checks out in terms of, like, how these people are operating? The entity that's brainwashing everybody. Because it's the same entity that basically indicted, before any evidence was presented, which ended up, there was no evidence, on basic hearsay, they said that Trump said this, and Trump said that, and Trump did this, and Trump did that, based on a person who heard from another person, who said to another person, and apparently Trump is guilty. And we found out he's not. And these are the same people that are saying, yeah, it's hearsay from these witnesses, and there's no physical evidence, and blah, 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 and this and that and the other. My friends, it's either these people are living in alternative reality, or they are disingenuine dickbags. Pardon my language. Either they're lying, either they're intellectually dishonest, or they are brainwashed and living in an alternative reality. Either way, there's no point to talk to them. Either way, my friends. Either way, my friends writing, Sitra Achra, something else to behold, to stand back from it for 1 second. The power of this is amazing. Yeah, listen, man. People watch CNN, CNN writes a headline, they write, and then, they posted a video of Rudy and this witness in Michigan. Rudy Giuliani, sometimes I wonder if these people are like 5 years old or if they're even journalists. Like a 5-year-old wrote this. Rudy Giuliani farts on his witness, or farts on whoever. I don't know, he farted. Or Rudy Giuliani's hair dye is running. I mean, my friends, I'm telling you, I saw a video from somebody, it was actually a non-Jew, posted, Christian guy. I was very, like, I was taken aback. I was very impressed with this. He said, the election happened on the 17th of Heshvan, or the next day was the 17th of Heshvan. 17th of Heshvan was, according to the Gemara, according to the Talmud, the day that the rain began, the day that the flood began, on the story of Noah. And the rain ended when? On the 27th of Kislev. The 27th of Kislev this year, my friends, falls out in the middle of Hanukkah, smack in the middle of Hanukkah. Not only in the middle of Hanukkah, it falls out the day before the Electoral College is to vote. It falls on December 13th. The Electoral College is going to vote on the 14th. My friends, Hashem, all you have to do is listen. Hashem talks to us via current events. All you have to do is listen. All you have to do is open your eyes and look. All you have to do is listen. You just have to be tuned into it. If you're not tuned into it, you really don't know what's going on. It's all just politics to you. It's all just, Biden, Trump, and this and that, and Republicans, Democrats, my friends. If we're seeing this, if this is what we're seeing from people, the same entity who tried Trump in a court of public opinion and in a court of Twitter, and with no evidence and with hearsay said he's guilty automatically, are now saying that all the people and all the affidavits and all this and all that, no evidence. There's no evidence. There's nothing. It's debunked. It's a conspiracy. It's this. How much did they pay this witness, my friends? I'm telling you, it's people who are either under a spell, the people who are being brainwashed, they're under a spell, or the people who are brainwashing them, they're part of the Sitra Achra force that is fighting whatever its entity is trying to help the Jewish people and basically the world do the tikkun. Which I hate to say it, is Trump. You may disagree, but I don't know. The Jerusalem embassy, the Golan Heights, Judea and Samaria. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you could read all these articles about how Ivanka is this and Ivanka is that. This is a woman who goes to the Ohel, the Lubavitcher Rebbe's kever in Queens the night before both of the elections, both nights. She won in 2016 and then she won in 2020, my friends. I mean, like, this is something else. This is not politics, my friends. And the Sitra Achra is fighting and fighting and fighting. It's going to continue to fight until the bitter end, my friends. The only thing I can advise, and I'm talking to myself right now because I've gone against my own advice, is just stand back. Stand back. Don't post. Don't argue. Don't respond. Just actually do what the Democrats are doing. The politicians, they're not responding. They're not even addressing this. They're just ignoring. They're pretending, and ignoring will go away. I'm not saying to pretend and ignore. What I'm saying is just watch everything unfold. And, you know, we're going to see a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of crazy stuff in the next week. The next week is going to be nuclear. As they say in the South, nuclear. It's going to be nuclear, my friends. I'm telling you. Today is what? December 4th? My goodness. By next Shabbos, whew, I don't even know what's going to be. I can't even tell you guys what's going to be. I could speculate, but I'm not brazen enough to do that. I have some information that I've been researched, and I don't know if it's true or not, but rest assured, by the end of next week, and then by the time we get to this whole electoral college business, and even beyond that, stuff is gonna get really crazy, my friends, really crazy. And my concern is that, you know, I don't know if you guys know, in psychology, sometimes you have situations where you hear stories of people who are either people who were brainwashed and thought one thing and then kind of woke up to it, or people who are like, you know, people who are basically telling a lie for like a certain period of time, and then their lie is exposed, and then they have like a breakdown, like a meltdown, right? My friends, my only concern is that what happens is when these things are exposed for what they are, unequivocally, the people who did this, and also the people who were brainwashed into believing this, that nothing happened, are going to have meltdowns, and they're going to have violent meltdowns, like more violent than any Antifa we anticipated. You know, when these people boarded up their businesses in New York, and they were anticipating, you know, that Trump would win, and they were anticipating just like, let's say, orchestrated violence, you know, organized. But my friends, this is going to be even more violent than what we anticipated, because there's nothing worse than a person having a meltdown when his stuff is exposed. There's really nothing worse. It's like when you expose a narcissist. Think about that. If you've ever had anybody in your life who's like a narcissist, and you expose their stuff, pardon my French, and you've seen the meltdown happen, or you've seen, you know, they do the gaslighting and they do all kinds of stuff and they throw stuff back in your face. I'm telling you, my friends, this is the danger. That's really the main danger, my main concern of what's going to happen after this. That's really what we have to watch out for. And yeah, my friends, this is Hashem really orchestrating this. We just have to understand that. It's already something that transcends politics. So I'm going into Shabbos soon, so I have to get off with you guys. And but I just want to let you know, for those of you guys who are sitting on pins and needles, who are arguing with some of your friends and family who don't necessarily see what you see, and they're denying it, or they're calling it, you know, whatever it is, debunked, or BS, or lies, or this or that. My friends, just let not your heart be troubled, and just understand that there's really, just sit back and watch the show. Grab the popcorn and watch the show. All right, guys, Shabbat Shalom. Be safe, be healthy, and Zat Hashem, everything will be revealed.